Hello, welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following me along on my journey. And I've been on a roll. It's been wet, cold, and rainy here in Northeast United States, and I need something to do, so I'm making pen videos. Thankfully, I have some content that I feel would look good in a video. One of my viewers recommended that I get this color, 105, which is Brume. And this is what the pen looks like. It's a 480, so it has those pointy ends to it. A few other bits on it that are interesting. The viewer felt that this was a white version of Galaxy. And I'd have to say that I don't disagree. But let's compare this finish to Galaxy and to some other finishes. And let's talk a little bit about the 480. I got this one with a medium nib, which I really like. And in order to celebrate my upcoming birthday and not wanting to wait for whatever new pens may show up on the PenBBS site and Etsy, I ordered 3 more 480s. Maybe I'll get them by my birthday. So I've assembled some PenBBS models and finishes to compare to Brume, B-R-U-M-E. To me, one of the closest ones is another 480, which is number 107, which is Verdure. I think these are very, very close. Probably the same base clear resin. This one had some green color added to it. And this was just a pure white pearlescence. Same swirly design. I think it's good to compare them to some other pens. Here's a 308-03 in ice. And this one I had eyedroppered with a nice dark blue ink, and I wasn't happy with how it looked in the pen, so now it is empty. And then we have 43, which is Cloud. And I put these into this mix because they're similar resins to the Brume, and they're white-based resin. It's a little more pearlescence here. This one is a different swirl design. You know, it has a little bit of that cracked ice pattern in it. And Cloud is a little bit more billowy, closer to the Brume. Let's compare it to Galaxy, which is what my viewer suggested I do. And overall, I think this pretty much shows my feeling on the Brume color, and not my favorite. Galaxy is certainly a unique resin, and the white to me just doesn't really do justice to the potential for this type of resin, so I think you need a little bit of a color in there. That's why I prefer this one, the 105 model. The chatoyancy shows off a little bit more intensely here because of the color variations. And I like green. Here's a Moonman version of a similar type of resin. Not exactly. This is more like the Purple Cloud maybe, but it's in the blue basis. And I just wanted to bring these two into play because I think they're similar type resin. So I've talked about a swirl design versus a cracked ice design. So this is Quarterite and this is Symphony, and they just basically show off how you can do those swirls. And to me, I find them a more attractive finish than the Brume. So I think buying PenBBS pens has gotten a little bit more complex. Etsy, I think, is the best place to buy. I think they have the greatest selection and they have the best pricing. And shipping is extra, so buying one pen pretty much equates it to going on eBay and buying one that includes shipping. The 480 on eBay, in my mind, is very overpriced. I think it's probably priced right for the pen that it is, how well it's made, how well it writes, how nice it looks, the balance, the design, those types of things. But when you go on Etsy, they're like inexpensive, $17, $21. Here's the 3 that I ordered for my birthday. But when you go on eBay, they're in the $30 range and sometimes $35. So even with the shipping for one pen on Etsy, you're still getting a better deal buying directly from PenBBS, BNE on Etsy than you will trying to find something on eBay. I think that's a recent change that has gone on in the way PenBBS pens are being sold and marketed and distributed. And I think that's fine. I mean, direct selling is certainly the best for us from a buyer's viewpoint because we're buying from the maker of the pen and then therefore they're getting the profit, which hopefully will allow them to develop and design and make even greater new models. And here's one of my latest ones I got into was the 355. They've changed the filling system, which is maybe an improvement. I don't know. I ordered a pen on Tobu Focus, and I also ordered some ink, and I also ordered another pen. So I just kind of got excited and wanted to get something in, and who knows when they'll show up on Etsy. I don't know how that transition occurs because obviously Tobu has the first pens that John Long is putting up there, and then eventually they may make their way over to Etsy like the 492 magnetic pen did, and the pricing is fine. So you're not going to save any money buying direct on Tobu, but you know, you do get the pen hopefully a little bit earlier. We'll see. You know, the expensive part of it is shipping, where you might be paying $20, $30, or $40 for shipping versus $10 or less, or zero shipping, depending upon whether you're buying from eBay or Etsy. So let's write with one of these pens to see how that medium nib works. We're going to be using the PenBBS 323 aluminum with the medium point, and I put this ink in it. It's Monteverde Wisdom. I think that's some series called the Emotion series, whatever, so this is one of those. It's just a nice purple. On the blue side of purple, the chromatography is your typical. You have your pinkish red going up into an interesting sky blue. Put those two together, you get purple. This is inked up. It's the 323 and lilac, the aluminum finish one. Pen that I don't think gets as much coverage as it should. Cap comes off in about 1.5 turns, and you notice the threads here at the end of the section. Interesting design because I think they wanted to keep this part between the section and the barrel clear. And it's interesting they did the 323 in both this aluminum version and the acrylic version and kept the number the same, even though they're pretty different pens. It has that medium nib, which I particularly like. Decent amount of tipping material on it. Lays down a great line. And this pen also writes first time every time. You can leave it set for a month or two and take the cap off and it'll write. Let's see how it writes. I think you've heard this pen writes very smooth. Requires no pressure to write. It just glides. And it's a wet writer. So that's a look at the medium nib. And sometimes this is referred to as the round medium, because it doesn't have that upturn at the end. It's just a normal tipping. Hopefully you've enjoyed this look at some PenBBS models. I haven't done a PenBBS video in a while. So thank you for watching. I always try to bring something a little bit different in each of my videos. And in perusing the internet and looking for PenBBS pens, I noticed that the buying has changed, but that's typical of the internet. You know, it's really an open marketplace, and it's going to change regularly, so that's why I always suggest anybody who wants to do anything, do searches on their local eBay, on their local Amazon, whatever, you know, place that they might want to go, that they can find some pens. So may you find a pen that's great and an ink. And this is Monteverde Wisdom, in case there was any question about what the ink was. I enjoy it. I got a bunch of Monteverde inks because I like the fact that they have some lubrication to them, and they work well in every pen I put them in. Put some thoughts on paper. Put some ink on paper. Share them with some friends. Write some letters. This is the end of this video for now. We're going to say bye until the next video. That is a very nice writer.